Most people chase pleasure. Few understand connection. And that is why so many relationships feel empty after the lights go out. Because what happens in the bedroom isn't just physical, it is psychological. Today, we're going to expose the truth. There are sex positions that don't just feel good. They make you feel seen, safe, and emotionally bonded. This isn't about performance. It is about presence. Let us break it down. Eye contact positions activate emotional bonding. Eye contact is one of the most powerful emotional tools in human connection. It is not just romantic, it is neurological. When two people lock eyes during intimacy, the brain releases oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, but here is what most people don't realize. Oxytocin isn't just released during orgasm. It is triggered by trust, safety, and mutual gaze. The SY positions that allow for sustained eye contact, like face to face, sitting upright, or lying side by side, can radically transform the emotional depth of a sexual experience in these moments. The body becomes a mirror. You're not just touching skin, you're touching soul. The eyes reveal expressions of vulnerability, desire, and even fear. And when those expressions are met with acceptance, something profound happens. The nervous system relaxes. The heart rate synchronizes. Emotional walls begin to crumble. You stop performing and start connecting. Ice is why couples who prioritize eye contact during intimacy report higher levels of satisfaction, trust, and emotional closeness. It is not about technique. It is about presence. Because when you look someone in the eyes during the most vulnerable act humans can share, you're saying, I see you, I choose you, I am here. And that message, delivered without words, is more powerful than any physical sensation. It is the foundation of emotional intimacy. And it starts with a look. Vulnerability-based positions trigger oxytocin release. There is a reason vulnerability feels terrifying and magnetic. In the realm of intimacy, vulnerability isn't weakness. It is the gateway to emotional depth. When two people engage in positions that expose the body, not just physically, but emotionally, the brain responds with a surge of oxytocin. This hormone doesn't just make you feel close. It makes you feel safe. And safety is the foundation of love. Think about positions where one partner is held, cradled, or supported, where the body is open, not guarded. These aren't just comfortable. They read symbolic. They say, I trust you enough to let go. And when that trust is reciprocated, the nervous system shifts. The body stops bracing. The mind stops performing. You're no longer trying to impress. You're allowing yourself to be seen. Science backs this up. Studies show that oxytocin levels spike when physical closeness is paired with emotional vulnerability. That cradling after sex isn't just sweet, it is neurologically bonding. But here is the twist. You don't have to wait until after. Positions that allow one partner to be held, supported, or gently guided during intimacy can trigger the same effect during the act. It is not about dominance or submission. It is about surrender, mutual, conscious, and safe. And when that surrender happens, something shifts. You stop chasing pleasure and start experiencing connection. You stop fearing rejection and start feeling accepted. You stop hiding and start healing, because the most powerful sex isn't the kind that leaves you breathless. It is the kind that leaves you whole. And that kind of intimacy begins with vulnerability, not just in your heart, but in your posture. Synchronization positions build trust, and safety trust isn't built in grand gestures. It is built in rhythm, in the way two bodies move together, not in dominance, not in control, but in harmony. Synchronization positions are those that allow both partners to move in tandem, to feel each other's pace, breath, and intention. These positions aren't just physically satisfying. They re-psychologically grounding. When two people sync their movements, the brain registers it as cooperation, as mutual respect, as safety. This is rooted in mirror neuron theory, the idea that our brains fire in response to the actions of others, especially when those actions reflect our own. In synchronized intimacy, your partner becomes your mirror. You're not just reacting, you're responding. You're not just touching. You're ray-tuning. This kind of attunement activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for calm, connection, and emotional regulation. It says the opposite of fight or flight. It says rest and connect. And when that system is activated during intimacy, the body relaxes, the mind opens. Emotional walls begin to fall. Couples who engage in synchronized positions, where movement is shared, not imposed, report higher levels of trust, emotional safety, and post-intimacy closeness. Because it is not about who is in control. It is about who is in sync. And that synchronization sends a message deeper than words. I am with you. I am not rushing you. I am not overpowering you. I am moving with you. In a world that teaches us to chase performance, synchronization teaches us to chase presence. And presence is where emotional connection lives. Not in the climax, but in the rhythm, in the breath. In the moment that people stop trying to impress and start trying to understand. Cradling position, stimulate nervous system regulation. Emotional connection isn't just about what you say. It is about how your body feels, safe, held, regulated. Cradling positions where one partner wraps around or supports the other activate the parasympathetic nervous system. That is the system responsible for calm, healing, and emotional bonding. It is the opposite of adrenaline. It is the language of trust. When someone is cradled, whether lying on their partner's chest, held from behind, or gently enveloped, the body interprets it as protection. This isn't just romantic. It is biological. The vagus nerve, which runs from the brain to the gut, responds to gentle touch and pressure by slowing the heart rate, deepening the breath, and releasing oxytocin. That is why these positions don't just feel good. They heal. In a world where most people are stuck in fight or flight, anxious, guarded, disconnected, cradling intimacy becomes medicine. It tells the nervous system, you're safe now. And when the body feels safe, the heart opens, the mind softens, emotional walls begin to dissolve. These positions are especially powerful for people with trauma, anxiety, or attachment wounds because they bypass logic. They speak directly to the body, and the body doesn't lie. It knows when it is being held with care, not just touched, but cherished. Couples who prioritize cradling intimacy report deeper emotional connection, better communication, and even improved sleep. Because it is not just about what happens during sex, it is about what lingers after. The feeling of being held, supported, loved, and that feeling, that deep nervous system regulation, is what turns physical intimacy into emotional sanctuary. Not just pleasure, but peace. Expanded key point 5, slow, breath, matched positions, deepen intimacy. Over time, speed is seductive, but slowness is sacred. In a culture obsessed with instant gratification, slowing down during intimacy is a radical act of emotional presence. Breath, matched positions, where both partners consciously align their breathing and movements, create a neurological feedback loop that deepens connection, trust, and emotional resonance. This isn't just poetic. It is scientific. When two people breathe together, their heart rates begin to synchronize. Their nervous systems co-regulate. The body shifts from performance mode to connection mode. And in that shift, something extraordinary happens. Time stretches. Awareness heightens. Every touch becomes intentional. Every movement becomes meaningful. These positions, often involving close body contact, minimal thrusting, and deep eye contact, allow partners to feel each other's emotional state in real time. You're not just reacting to pleasure. You're responding to presence, and that presence activates the vagus nerve, which governs emotional regulation, empathy, and bonding. It is the same nerve that lights up during meditation, deep hugs, and moments of spiritual clarity. Couples who practice slow breath, syncament intimacy, report feeling more emotionally attuned, less anxious, and more satisfied, not just sexually, but relationally, because it is not about how long you last. It is about how deeply you connect. And that depth is built in the silence between breaths, in the stillness between movements, in the choice to be with someone, not just on someone. This kind of intimacy doesn't fade with time. It grows. It evolves. It becomes a language, a rhythm, a sanctuary. And in that sanctuary, love isn't just felt. It is embodied. Not just pleasure, but presence. Not just climax, but connection.